What's up, Grizz Nation? Welcome back. It is time for another game day update. I'm Kelcey. I'm joined by Paris Lawson for the first time, and I'm so excited to have you, Paris, especially like one, because I'm just excited you're here, but two, OKC has been on fire lately, like absolutely on fire. And I think key number one, I'm going to just start off right off the bat, is how do you slow down Shai Gilgeous-Alexander?
Yeah, he's been extremely fun to watch this season and even in prior seasons. And it's because of his ability to just create, right? Like he can get downhill. Other teams know exactly what he's going to do. He's going to try to attack the paint. He's going to try to get to the rim, and yet he does it anyway. And so he's so unpredictable. He's so slippery. He's hard to contain. But the thing that is most impressive to me is that he's a guy who is obviously leading his team in points. He's a guy who leads the offense, but he's getting everybody involved offensively. Like in the Thunder's last game against the Wizards, the game went down to like the last 5 seconds and Shai like drove, got caught, like got trapped, kicked it out to a rookie, Jalen Williams, for a 3, and he made it. And so it's like, he just does a great job of like encouraging and empowering his teammates in that way. And it gets everybody involved. And it's been really fun to watch. So fun to watch.
Yeah, Shai in his last 3 games has scored 37, 37, and 42. Like absolutely ridiculous. And it's so interesting to hear you talk about how he gets his teammates involved, because I don't know if you heard, but on the broadcast, the TNT broadcast of our last game, Charles Barkley said Ja is really good, but he's not someone who gets his teammates involved. And so we talked to him at shoot around today, and he was like, I don't care what outsiders have to say. Like if my teammates are saying I'm getting involved, getting everyone involved, they are. So there's such interesting similarities between the 2 point guards of these two teams, between Shai and between Ja. And I think they're not going to guard each other, but like that idea of seeing them go head to head tonight is making, I think, everyone excited. I think the game's almost sold out because of that.
I mean, I know I'm looking forward to that, definitely, because they're 2 guys who lead the league in drives per game, and they're just so fun to watch. Like Ja is super electric when he gets to the rim. Like he gets that first step and everybody just like holds their breath waiting to see what he's going to do when he gets that space. And Shai is just so crafty. And so they get to the rim in very different ways. But either way, it's super fun to watch.
And look, we're talking about getting to the rim. These two teams, number 1 and number 4 in points in the paint scoring as a team. Tell me how, this is the first time we're seeing OKC. Tell me how OKC scores. Obviously, it's a whole bunch in the paint. Is that guards driving? Is it getting it into the bigs? Obviously, Chet is not playing this year. It's another injury update. Dez is out for us. And like all the other regular guys. Do you guys have injuries today?
Yeah. So Darius Baisley, he's out tonight. He's got a right ankle sprain, and then Trey Mann is also listed as out tonight with some low back soreness. So those are the 2 biggest injuries for us. And Isaiah Joe right now is listed as out with knee soreness. But to answer your question, on those points in the paint, a lot of it is Shai, right? Like he's getting downhill, he's getting to the rim, he's scoring in the paint. But if you look at the Thunder's lineup, it's a lot of guys who are so versatile. They can just like be out on the perimeter. And so when you play really spaced like that, it opens up driving and cutting lanes for guys. So if you watch our offense, these guys are cutting a lot without the ball. Like they are getting past their defender. They're reading when one guy is driving. Everybody's kind of moving on a string offensively. And so you get a lot of open looks at the rim. And like you look at a guy like Aleksej Pokusevski, he's a 7-footer for us, but he'll be out at the high post, even, 3-point line extended. And that stretches out the big man for the opposing team, which leaves the rim wide open for other guys like Aaron Wiggins or Josh Giddey or Lou Dort to cut and get to the rim. And so the assist numbers for this group is really high because guys move a lot without the ball. And of course, the Thunder's defense is really, really strong this season, and it has been last season as well. And of course, when you get stops, you get out on the break, those are going to be easy points around the rim too.
You brought up Lou Dort, and it was someone that I hadn't even had thought to bring up yet. And I want to talk about him quickly because in my mind, it's going to be like the battle of the Canadians in terms of Dylan Brooks guarding Shai.
There's so many Canadian players on
so many
2 rosters. Yes.
So many. I'm assuming Lou Dort has the defensive responsibility of containing Ja. Is there somebody?
Yeah, he'll probably take on that matchup tonight. Yeah.
That's going to be like, that's 2 like dog perimeter defenders going up against 2 guys who are leading the league in scoring.
Yeah, and Lou does such a phenomenal job. He leads the league in charges drawn per game because it's not just like he's out here like being super pesky on a defender. Like he's just straight up like fundamental chest to chest with these guys and all doing that while fighting over screens. Like he's going to have quite the time tonight getting through these Steven Adams screens, which he's, had to do before in practices in Oklahoma City. But this is going to be an interesting matchup. And Lou is no stranger to having to go over those really tough screens set by some big players.
Okay, my last question then is with
Yeah.
big players. Jaren Jackson Jr. made his season debut for the Grizzlies last game. Obviously, the timeline, we didn't know when he was going to be coming back. And so if OKC was, scouting us a week ago, you have to scout whether you have JJ or whether you don't.
Right.
Who takes on that responsibility with Jaren? Obviously, you want to get his offense going. It was
Mm-hmm.
a little rusty to start in his first game, but hopefully you're getting him back into it. But also his rim protection provides the Grizzlies like this whole nother side on defense. Yeah. And OKC's playing or scoring so much in the paint. How does it change the way OKC scores? And then who is guarding him?
Yeah, so that's a great question, and one that I wish I had just like a firm answer for. But
well, then you might be the GM of the OKC Thunder.
I mean, I would have all the answers,
yeah.
And that would be a different story. But the Thunder this season has had one of the league's most starting lineups per game, and so this team is super fluid and adaptable from game to game. So it could be Alexei Pokashevsky out there at the 5 spot, could be Aaron Wiggins playing the 4, could be Kenrich Williams out there playing the 4. It could be Jeremiah Robinson Earl. Like there is a litany of guys that the Thunder could plug into this game to take on that matchup. And the beauty of this is that the Thunder really relies on their 5-man defense. So like if they're trying to play fast, and the Grizzlies, I know, like to get out and transition too. They like to play fast. When you're in those broken floor situations, right? It's just a matter of like stop the guy in transition, and it's not about matchups in particular. And so it's going to take all 5 guys really locked in defensively for the Thunder to contain Jaren and what he's able to do offensively. On the defensive end for the Thunder, it's going to be about spreading him out, right? Getting him away from the rim as much as possible. And that's what I was talking about earlier about the Thunder having those versatile guys who can stretch out behind the 3-point line. And so seeing how they're able to move him around, get him away from the rim, be something that I'm going to be looking for tonight, just in terms of opening up that space, because Steven Adams is down there too, Jaren Jackson, like that's a lot of rim protection for the Grizzlies. And so it's going to be a big key for the Thunder to get them away from the rim as much as possible.
Paris, you're awesome. I'm so excited for tonight. I'm so excited to have 1, meet you, and then 2, I guess, watch these 2 teams play basketball.
Yeah, I know. We've both been, on these beats for 4 years now, and we haven't met. So yeah, I'm excited too.
Grizzlies fans, the game tips off at 7 p.m. tonight here at FedEx Forum. So get here nice and early if you are coming, and if you're watching, make sure you're watching on Bally Sports Southeast and the Bally Sports Plus app.